Welcome along then to highlights of the Epiphany Trophy 2022 organised by Porsche Club Sweden. Split between two categories of racing, the first being the GT3, the Pro class, which Bo Dilton took pole position just ahead of Melvin Arkeson, and the GT4 category ready for the amateurs. Versh took pole position this one ahead of Sjöholm, Karlsson and Lattinen just behind. And so with that then, we were underway at the Anderstorp Raceway, and it was Dilton that was going to be leading clean from the pack behind. A bit of drama though, and Åkesson was under attack from Kilgren as we ride on board with Moden, attacking for third position and trying to get that final spot on the podium. For the GT4s, it wasn't a clean launch as some of the GT3 contenders were struggling to get off the line. Anderson was in the middle of the drama at turn 1 after being spun out due to contact. Sjöholm would make an enormous dive bomb on Versh as Versh was held up by some of the GT3 traffic just getting up to speed. And then Lattinen would be trying to take the podium away from Karlsson, but unfortunately would make a fairly large mistake and drive off into the barrier. Thankfully the car would be okay to continue in the race, but not without damage. Versh would be back to the inside there of Sjöholm and continue to make the move into the third to last corner, hanging on to the lead, but only by a small margin. Up towards the front of the GT3 traffic, and things were starting to close up for the podium fight as Moden was beginning to challenge Kilgren for that third position. However, it was Kilgren that was going to be making the position up as Åkesson would make a slight mistake himself, just losing the rear end and then dropping down to third spot, but the pressure would still be on for another couple of laps as Kilgren was not able to relax at all. Race leader Dilton started to reach some of the GT4 traffic, which was beginning to cause some problems. Everything was alright, but the gaps were beginning to close. An enormous mistake though for Versh drops him down not only second position, but to third as well. The aforementioned lap traffic was really beginning to cause problems for Dilton as he would have dropped right back towards second position. Kilgren though would go one way around the traffic, Dilton the other, and Dilton just able to hang on that run around turn 1, but more traffic problems and Kilgren was getting closer and closer to sniffing an opportunity to take the race lead. Dilton was able to hang on though, at least on this occasion, but the pressure was on and it was a fight between three cars for the race victory. Versh, after the mistake, was now starting to make some serious progress. Now onto the rear end of Karlsson to go and grab third position, would finally make the move stick as the leaders were coming through on board with Åkesson, and it was Kilgren that was going for the move for around the outside for the race lead, but would overcook it, would knock Versh off of the road as well, and then Åkesson would pick up the position. And whilst all that was going on, just behind this, Karlsson was having an uncatchable slide into the final corner, would end up dropping the position to Volander, who had just come through in the final moments of the lap. Unfortunately though for Karlsson, it would get even worse as a spin at turn 1 added to the issues. The trio at the lead would remain close, Dilton running wide and really starting to feel the pressure from Åkesson behind. Kilgren was fancying potentially grabbing second position and maybe even challenging for the race lead, but a little bit wide coming off of the banking into the side of Åkesson's car, would spin and drop down to third position. Up at the front though, coming round the final couple of corners, Dilton just about leading from Åkesson, and that is how it would be to the line. 4/10 separating them for race victory, and also over in the GT4 category, it was Sjöholm taking the victory. Just 0.4 of a second then separating the top two in the GT3 category across the line. A shame for Kilgren, not able to challenge for that victory and losing out to Moden in the final moments. In the GT4 category though, it was plain sailing for Sjöholm, who took victory comfortably clear of Versh after a couple of mistakes. Excellent consistency from Wallander to get onto the podium after mistakes from Karlsson. That there wraps up the Epiphany Trophy of 2022 from Porsche Club Sweden.